I recall, I was at E3 way back in 2005 or 2006. My memory's a little fuzzy now. Cliff Bleszinski came out on stage at the Microsoft press conference, and he showed us a game quite unlike any video game I'd seen before. Of course, I'm talking about Gears of War. Now, we'd had third-person shooters before this, but no game did that more elegantly than Gears of War.
Yeah, and with more attitude. I mean, this was a game that had so much style and so much brash machismo. Everybody's thick-necked, everybody's got boots the size of elephant feet. It's just a macho as hell game, this experience.
It's funny because it does kind of feel like a tombstone at the end of a certain kind of video game.
Yeah.
It sort of brought an end to a lot of the cliches that are no longer acceptable here 5, 6, 7 years later.
I think what happened is so many people riffed on Gears of War. So many people were using the Unreal Engine to make games that looked similar or played similar and had characters that were designed in a similar fashion. So the style, I think, kind of passed through vogue on the sort of art and the look of Gears of War. Obviously, it's still a huge franchise, and there's many more Gears of War games to come. But the first one was a seminal game. It made its mark, and it's also, I think, really responsible for the success of the Xbox 360.
I agree 100%. Now, obviously, we've spent a lot of time talking about the Gears of War series on Reviews on the Run. In fact, let's take a look back.
It's an amazing achievement what Epic did with this game because they really changed.
You only get one amazing during this whole review.
They changed course 100% from what they were doing with the Unreal franchise. They were already big and successful with that series, running on many iterations.
Grittier direction, much grittier. And the thing that shocked me loading this up again, and this has been sitting on my shelf for many years now, is how good this game still looks.
Yeah, it does. It looks fantastic. And what's interesting to me playing the new one compared to this one, because everything was new and out of the blue, it does feel a little creepier. It feels a little scarier.
It does. Yeah. I feel like it's more atmospheric, like the way that the locusts sort of come out of these holes in the ground.
The locusts are scary as hell in the first game. They're kind of clowning by the third game, you know? I mean, you know...
That's totally true.
You know how they're going to blow up by the third game. But in the first game, they are freaky, and they've got lots of great close-up shots. And remember the fight with Ram on the train? That was some pretty heinous,
I'll never forget
stuff.
it, because I played by myself the first time through this game, and it's almost impossible to beat him by yourself. It's designed to be a co-op experience.
That's the other thing. It's way harder than Gears of War 3 is as well.
It's very challenging. I was dying early and often in my replay through the original Gears of War. And everything feels a little smaller and tighter, and even the shoulders of Marcus Phoenix feel more narrow. He's gotten bigger and broader and more cartoonish. And
a little more cartoonish, and there's a lot more color and a lot more detail in the world and in the suits that the guys wear and all that stuff. But you know what? What they did nail was the creepiness, you know, that cool sort of mood, that tone. And I actually kind of prefer some of the, the rougher edges of the first game, you know, the darker shadows and the muted color palette.
It's so confident, and it's just, there's so many choices that would turn out to be iconic that we didn't know at the time would be iconic, like the roadie run, and like the little guitar solo thing at the end of every wave.
They changed the industry with this game.
They really did, and I remember seeing this at E3 even before it came out, being super excited for it, seeing this, you know, gun with a chainsaw on it, and thinking Cliff was a madman, and being really excited to play this. And this is one of those good E3 stories where we get excited about something, and then we play it.
And it over-delivers.
So congratulations, Cliff Bleszinski and all of the team members at Epic behind Gears of War, number 87 on the top 100 best games of all time list.